5 acts of justice from God towards wicked narcissist. Have you ever found yourself asking, why does the narcissist seem to get away with so much harm? It's a question that resonates with anyone who's endured the calculated cruelty of a narcissist. At first glance, it can feel like the narcissist's relentless pursuit of power and control leaves no room for justice. But here's where the story gets intriguing. Divine justice is neither rushed nor absent. Instead, it works in ways that are profound, precise, and transformative, not just for the narcissist, but for those affected by their wickedness. In this video, we'll uncover 5 remarkable acts of God's justice toward narcissists, each uniquely designed to confront their actions and bring clarity and healing to their victims. These acts of justice may not always be immediate, but they're undeniable in their impact. From exposing hidden lies to restoring the broken-hearted, divine justice reminds us that no one escapes accountability. Stick with me until the end, and you'll gain a deeper understanding of how God's justice operates and how it can empower you to rise above the pain inflicted by narcissists. But before we dive in, if you're seeking clarity, hope, and strength in understanding these dynamics, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with those who need encouragement. Let's spread awareness, build resilience, and explore the truth together. Now, let's begin. Narcissists thrive on maintaining an illusion of power that they've carefully crafted to project charm, confidence, and control. This persona serves to cover up their insecurities, their deep sense of emptiness, and their fear of being exposed for who they truly are. For the narcissist, deception is not just a tool, it is a fundamental part of their survival strategy. They need to manipulate those around them to uphold this image, constantly distorting the truth and creating false narratives. In doing so, they leave behind a trail of emotional devastation, wrecking the lives of those who come into contact with them. Their world is one of carefully constructed lies, and they will do anything to protect that facade, even if it means destroying others in the process. However, despite their cunning and manipulative behavior, narcissists are not beyond the reach of divine justice. The justice that comes from a higher power operates on a deeper level than they could ever comprehend. It targets the very core of what keeps their illusion intact: secrecy, pride, and control. These are the foundations of their power, and it is on these foundations that the divine strikes. This is where the first act of divine justice takes place, and it is a powerful one. 1. Exposure, bringing darkness to light. One of the most profound ways that divine justice unfolds is through the exposure of hidden truths. Narcissists depend on secrecy to fuel their manipulative tactics. They weave intricate webs of lies, create deceptive stories, and obscure their true intentions behind a polished image that others buy into. They operate in the shadows, believing that their secrets will remain hidden and that they can continue to manipulate without consequence. But the divine has a way of bringing light to these dark places. Think about times when a narcissist's carefully constructed web of deceit was suddenly unraveled. Perhaps a lie they told was brought to light in a way that they couldn't escape, or someone they had underestimated uncovered the truth, revealing their manipulative behavior. These moments of exposure are not coincidences. They are deliberate acts of divine justice. The act of exposure shakes the narcissist's foundation, forcing them to confront the truth they have worked so hard to suppress. It reveals their lies, strips away their false persona, and exposes them for who they truly are. The power of exposure lies not only in the truth itself, but in its impeccable timing. It might feel as though the narcissist's lies are allowed to go unchecked for far too long, but exposure often strikes at the most critical moment, catching them off guard. It disrupts their carefully laid plans and forces their victims to see the reality they have been blinded from. In this way, divine justice serves to show us that no lie can remain hidden forever, and truth has a way of revealing itself when we least expect it. 2. Humbling the proud. If there is one thing that narcissists cannot tolerate, it is being humbled. Their inflated sense of self is their most prized asset, but it is also their greatest vulnerability. They need constant admiration and validation, and they cannot bear any situation that challenges their perceived superiority. This is where the second act of divine justice comes in. It is the act of humbling the proud. Throughout spiritual teachings and scripture, we see clear examples of how God opposes the proud and elevates the humble. For the narcissist, this act of divine justice manifests in ways that force them to confront their limitations, their failures, and their flaws. The narcissist, who once seemed invincible and untouchable, is often struck by unexpected circumstances that challenge their sense of superiority. It could be a public failure, a loss of status, or a sudden turn of events that leaves them vulnerable and exposed. These humbling experiences shake the very core of their self-image and force them to see themselves in a different light. While they may resist acknowledging these moments as humbling experiences, the impact remains undeniable. The narcissist may try to defend their inflated ego, but the truth of their limitations will inevitably catch up with them. What is most fascinating about this act of divine justice is that it not only disrupts the narcissist's grip on control, but also presents an opportunity for growth and change. Although many narcissists are resistant to self-reflection, the experience of being humbled can serve as a powerful reminder that no one is above the law of accountability. The act of being humbled strips away the illusion of invincibility, leaving the narcissist to confront the reality of their behavior. It serves as a wake-up call, challenging them to reflect on their actions, their values, and their true character. Whether or not they choose to learn from this experience is up to them, but the act of humbling remains a crucial component of divine justice. 3. Spiritual reckoning. Although narcissists may seem to avoid facing consequences in their earthly lives, it is crucial to understand that God's justice extends far beyond the confines of the physical realm. The Bible repeatedly emphasizes that the actions of those who live wickedly, including narcissists, will not go unaddressed in the spiritual dimension. For the narcissist, whose actions are deeply rooted in pride, deception, and the exploitation of others, a spiritual reckoning is not only inevitable, but profoundly personal. It is an encounter with divine justice that cannot be evaded or delayed. Spiritual reckoning often begins with an unsettling internal unrest that the narcissist cannot ignore, no matter how hard they try to suppress it. These moments can manifest as feelings of guilt, fear, emptiness, or even deep anxiety, emotions that disrupt their meticulously crafted false personas. Narcissists often rely on their grandiose self-image to shield them from uncomfortable truths, but these internal struggles serve as poignant reminders that their actions have eternal consequences. Despite their best efforts to avoid facing accountability in their relationships or their actions on earth, they will ultimately be confronted by the inescapable judgment of God. This aspect of divine justice serves as a powerful reminder to all that no one, no matter how skilled they may be in deception or manipulation, is beyond the reach of God's judgment. Narcissists may thrive in their ability to manipulate others and maintain control over their earthly relationships, but they cannot manipulate or escape the divine justice that awaits them. It is a justice that operates on a level far beyond their understanding or ability to influence, and it is an essential part of the cosmic balance that ensures that truth and righteousness prevail in the end. 4. Restoration of the victims. Divine justice is not only about confronting the narcissist and holding them accountable for their actions. It also deeply focuses on the healing and restoration of those who have been harmed by their cruelty. Victims of narcissistic abuse often endure profound emotional and spiritual damage that can leave lasting scars on their psyche. This abuse is not only destructive on a psychological level, but can also deeply affect one's spiritual well-being. Because of this, restoration becomes an essential and inseparable part of divine justice. It is through this restoration that victims can find healing and experience a new sense of wholeness and strength, which is crucial for their long-term well-being. The process of God's restoration typically begins with inner healing. Over time, as the divine works in their lives, victims may start to notice a shift in their emotional and spiritual state. They may begin to experience a sense of peace, strength, and resilience that they never thought possible before. Through these quiet yet powerful shifts, victims can start rebuilding the parts of their lives that were shattered by the narcissist's actions. This restoration might manifest in new relationships that bring support, love, and genuine connection. It could also show up in new opportunities for personal growth or spiritual development that reflect God's commitment to their healing and overall well-being. What makes this aspect of divine justice particularly beautiful and transformative is how it turns pain into purpose. Victims who were once caught in the narcissist's cycle of manipulation often emerge from this suffering stronger, wiser, and more grounded in their faith. This healing process doesn't just restore the individual to their former state. It takes them to a place of greater wisdom and spiritual depth. Their journey of healing becomes a testimony of God's power and justice, serving as proof that even in the face of deep emotional wounds, divine justice is capable of bringing restoration, renewal, and growth. In this way, the very wounds inflicted by the narcissist become the catalyst for a deeper connection with God and a newfound sense of empowerment. 5. Empowering the oppressed. The final act of divine justice focuses on empowering those who have been oppressed and victimized by narcissists. This empowerment is a deeply transformative process that takes many forms. For victims of narcissistic abuse, empowerment means finding their voice again, reclaiming their sense of self-worth, and regaining the confidence that was stolen from them. It is a reminder that they are not defined by the narcissist's actions or words, but by their own inherent strength, resilience, and connection to a higher power. As the healing process unfolds, this empowerment is often experienced as a shift in perspective. Victims may start to see themselves in a new light, no longer as passive recipients of manipulation or control, but as individuals with the strength and wisdom to navigate life on their own terms. This shift in self-perception is often accompanied by newfound clarity and insight that allows them to make healthier decisions in future relationships and situations. With this clarity comes the courage to set boundaries, stand firm in their convictions, and rise above the toxic patterns they once found themselves trapped in. This divine empowerment is a clear indication that justice is not merely about retribution or punishment. While the narcissist faces the consequences of their actions, those who have suffered under their oppressive control are empowered to rise above the pain and injustice they endured. Empowerment through divine justice is about renewal and transformation. It's about taking the broken pieces of one's life and creating something stronger, more resilient, and more aligned with one's true purpose. The power of God's justice lies not only in its ability to punish evil, but in its capacity to heal and transform those who have been hurt by it. This empowerment is the ultimate reminder that no matter how long a narcissist's reign of manipulation may last, The divine is always at work, bringing healing, renewal, and the restoration of power to those who have been oppressed. Thank you for taking the time to explore this important topic. If you've found strength or clarity in these insights, please like, subscribe, and share this video with others who might benefit from it. Your support helps build a community of resilience and hope, reminding us all that divine justice is always at work. Stay strong, stay hopeful, and remember, God's justice is not only precise, but also deeply transformative. Until next time. Narcissist gives you sexual OCD. This is spiritual warfare. Have you ever felt trapped in a loop of intrusive, distressing thoughts after encountering a narcissist? It's like they embed themselves into your mind, leaving you with a heavy emotional and mental burden long after they're gone. When narcissists exploit your vulnerabilities, especially in intimate ways, the impact can feel overwhelming, as if they've planted seeds of chaos that keep growing. What's more disturbing is how this ties into spiritual warfare, a battle not just for your peace, but for your soul. This video dives deep into how narcissists can manipulate their victims to the point of inducing obsessive thoughts and behaviors, particularly around sexuality, and why this manipulation is a form of spiritual warfare. By the end, you'll not only recognize these tactics, but also learn how to reclaim your power and shield yourself from such harm. So stay tuned as we unravel this complex and deeply personal topic. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with anyone who might benefit from this insight. Together, we can shed light on these hidden struggles and empower ourselves and others to break free. Now, let's get into it. Narcissists thrive on control, and their methods for achieving it often target the most vulnerable and sacred aspects of your identity, your sense of self-worth and personal boundaries. This relentless need for power manifests in many ways, but one of the most harmful is their ability to infiltrate your intimate life, twisting genuine human connection into a tool for manipulation. This manipulation isn't just surface level, it digs deep, shaking the very foundations of how you perceive yourself. When it comes to intimacy, their toxic influence can take an even darker and more invasive turn, leaving you questioning not only your actions and desires, but also your morality and worth as a person. In some cases, this emotional and psychological abuse can contribute to obsessive-compulsive thoughts revolving around sexual themes, often referred to as sexual OCD. These intrusive thoughts are fueled and exacerbated by the chaos they create, pulling you into a spiral of doubt and self-blame. The question might arise, why do narcissists often target intimacy and sexuality? The answer lies in the deeply personal and vulnerable nature of this aspect of human connection. For most people, intimacy represents a space of trust, emotional safety, and genuine connection. It's where we allow ourselves to be seen fully, without pretenses or defenses. Narcissists understand the significance of this vulnerability and see it as an opportunity for control. By infiltrating this sacred part of your life, they gain unparalleled access to your inner world, your fears, desires, and insecurities. They exploit this access with calculated precision, using charm to draw you in, guilt to keep you compliant, and shame to erode your confidence and autonomy. This combination of tactics creates a potent cocktail of confusion and dependence, ensuring that your thoughts remain fixated on them and the dynamics they've established. Every interaction with a narcissist feels like it carries an unspoken weight, as though there's always an underlying agenda driving their words and actions. This sense of manipulation becomes even more pronounced in intimate situations. Their behavior in these contexts is often a deliberate mix of seduction and control. On one hand, they may use charm and allure to make you feel desired and connected to them, creating an illusion of closeness that feels intoxicating. On the other hand, once they've drawn you in, they twist that connection into something that feels degrading, confusing, or even dehumanizing. This emotional whiplash leaves you in a constant state of uncertainty, trying to reconcile the moments of affection with the feelings of shame and doubt they leave in their wake. The psychological impact of this manipulation is profound. By targeting your sense of self through your intimate life, narcissists create an environment where you begin to doubt your own reality. You may find yourself constantly analyzing their actions and questioning their intentions, trying to make sense of the mixed signals they send. At the same time, you might begin to internalize the guilt and shame they project onto you, leading to obsessive, intrusive thoughts that feel impossible to escape. These thoughts often revolve around your worthiness, your desires, and even your identity, keeping you trapped in a cycle of self-blame and confusion. The result is a deep emotional dependency that reinforces their control, ensuring that your energy remains focused on them rather than on your own well-being and healing. What makes this form of manipulation so insidious is how it distorts the very concept of intimacy. Instead of being a source of comfort, connection, and mutual respect, intimacy with a narcissist becomes a battleground, a place where their need for control clashes with your need for authenticity and trust. They use every interaction as an opportunity to undermine your confidence, leaving you feeling unworthy, inadequate, and dependent on their validation. Over time, this dynamic chips away at your ability to trust not only them, but also yourself. You may begin to question your perceptions, your decisions, and even your ability to engage in healthy relationships outside of their influence. Breaking free from this cycle is challenging because the narcissist's manipulation is designed to keep you entangled. Their tactics are not accidental or unconscious. They are deliberate, calculated moves aimed at maintaining power over you. By targeting such a deeply personal aspect of your identity, they ensure that their influence extends beyond the surface, embedding itself in your thoughts, emotions, and sense of self. Recognizing this pattern is the first step toward reclaiming your autonomy and rebuilding the parts of yourself that their manipulation has damaged. However, the process of healing requires time, support, and a commitment to rediscovering the parts of yourself that they tried to erase. The confusion and emotional turmoil caused by a narcissist's manipulation of intimacy can feel overwhelming, but it's important to remember that these tactics say more about them than they do about you. Their need to control stems from their own insecurities and inability to form genuine connections, not from any flaw or failing on your part. By understanding the methods they use and the impact those methods have on your psyche, you can begin to disentangle yourself from their influence. Each step you take towards self-awareness and healing is a step away from the control they seek to exert over you, allowing you to reclaim your sense of self and your capacity for authentic, meaningful relationships. The spiritual dimension of this form of manipulation is profound and cannot be overlooked. When someone deliberately distorts your perception of love, intimacy, and connection, they're not only playing with your mind, they're attacking your very soul. Such manipulation shakes the core of your being, creating ripples that affect your emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. Narcissists often operate as agents of chaos, embodying energies that disrupt harmony and challenge your sense of inner peace. Their presence can feel like a storm, unsettling every aspect of your existence. This spiritual assault is why it's so essential to understand their tactics, recognize their patterns, and take deliberate steps to shield yourself from their influence. Protecting your spirit is as critical as protecting your mind and body. as the damage they inflict often leaves lasting scars that require deep healing to overcome. A key aspect of the narcissist's power lies in their ability to sow doubt and confusion, which often leads to the development of obsessive thought patterns like sexual OCD. This isn't an accidental byproduct of their behavior, it's a calculated tactic. Narcissists excel at distorting reality to serve their own needs, and they do so in ways that are deeply personal and invasive. They may accuse you of actions you've never taken, planting seeds of guilt and self-doubt. They might insinuate that your feelings or desires are inappropriate, leading you to question your morality and integrity. Their manipulation often involves crossing boundaries in subtle yet impactful ways, leaving you feeling unsettled and unsure of yourself. Each of these actions is designed to destabilize your sense of reality, making you second-guess your experiences and rely on them for validation. For instance, you might find yourself revisiting past interactions with them, obsessively analyzing every word, gesture, or moment to determine whether you misunderstood their intentions or behaved in a way that was somehow wrong. This endless cycle of rumination is one of the hallmarks of sexual OCD, a condition characterized by intrusive, obsessive thoughts about sexual themes. The narcissist's actions are intentionally designed to trigger and amplify these thoughts, keeping you in a state of emotional and mental preoccupation. They know that by flooding your mind with doubts and fears, they can keep you distracted from the bigger picture, their toxic behavior, and the harm they're causing. This distraction serves their purpose perfectly, as it ensures you remain emotionally tethered to them and unable to fully challenge or break free from their control. The spiritual impact of these tactics goes even deeper when you consider the sacred nature of love and intimacy. For many people, these aspects of life are deeply connected to their spiritual identity, representing trust, vulnerability, and a sense of divine connection. When a narcissist manipulates these sacred aspects, they're not just violating boundaries, they are waging a psychological and spiritual war. The confusion they create chips away at your ability to trust yourself and your own instincts, leaving you feeling disconnected not only from others, but also from your inner self. Over time, this disconnection can lead to a profound sense of emptiness or loss, as though a part of your spirit has been stolen or suppressed by their influence. In their quest for control, narcissists exploit the deeply personal nature of your intimate life to reinforce their dominance. They weaponize vulnerability, turning it into a tool for manipulation rather than connection. This deliberate twisting of intimacy and trust can leave you feeling as though you're caught in a web of emotional and spiritual turmoil. Even when you try to distance yourself, the obsessive thoughts and doubts they've planted may continue to haunt you, creating a lingering sense of unease and dependence. These intrusive thoughts are not only exhausting, but also serve as a constant reminder of their influence, making it even harder to reclaim your sense of peace and autonomy. Breaking free from the cycle of narcissistic manipulation demands a combination of mental resilience and spiritual strength. On a practical level, it starts with identifying the subtle and overt patterns of control that the narcissist employs. This awareness is key to reclaiming the mental clarity that their influence has clouded. Therapy can be a powerful tool, providing a safe space to process the emotional impact and develop strategies to regain control over your thoughts and behaviors. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation and journaling, can also help you ground yourself in the present moment, allowing you to separate the narcissist's manipulative tactics from your authentic reality. Setting firm boundaries is another critical step. These boundaries not only limit the narcissist's access to your life, but also reinforce your commitment to protecting your mental and emotional well-being. Every act of establishing and maintaining these limits is a declaration of self-respect and autonomy. On a deeper spiritual level, breaking free involves reconnecting with the essence of who you are. A narcissist's tactics often aim to strip you of your confidence, sense of purpose, and alignment with your values. To counter this, you must take deliberate steps to rebuild your inner world. Reflect on the beliefs and principles that ground you and bring you peace. These are your anchors, the unshakable truths that no manipulative force can take away. Engage in practices that nourish your soul, whether through prayer, meditation, or spending time in nature. These moments of connection can remind you of your inherent worth and help you find the strength to reclaim your power. Healing spiritually means re-establishing a relationship with yourself, one rooted in love, acceptance, and authenticity. The battle against a narcissist's influence is not just about regaining mental clarity. It is a profound fight for your soul. Narcissists thrive on chaos, and their methods are designed to erode your confidence, making you question your instincts and disconnect from the truth of who you are. They seek to replace your inner certainty with confusion, keeping you dependent on their approval and validation. But their tactics, no matter how calculated, are not undefeatable. The moment you begin to recognize their methods for what they are, deliberate attempts to destabilize and control, you reclaim the power they have worked so hard to strip away. Understanding their behavior is the first step, but taking proactive measures to protect yourself is what transforms that understanding into liberation. This process is not without challenges. There may be moments of doubt or setbacks where the emotional toll feels overwhelming. Yet each step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Reclaiming your life from the grip of manipulation is a journey of courage and perseverance, one that reveals the strength within you that the narcissist tried to suppress. With every boundary you set, every session of therapy you attend, every mindful breath you take, and every act of self-compassion you practice, you dismantle the power they once held over you. You are not just breaking free, you are rebuilding a life that is yours to define, guided by your truth and inner peace. As we bring this discussion to a close, it's important to remember that you are not alone in this struggle. Countless individuals have faced the manipulative tactics of narcissists and emerged victorious, stronger, and more resilient than before. Their stories of triumph stand as a testament to what is possible, and yours can be one of them. You have the strength, wisdom, and courage within you to navigate this journey and reclaim your sense of self. Your experiences, no matter how painful, do not define you. What defines you is the determination to rise above them and create a future that reflects your worth and potential. If this message has resonated with you, consider sharing it with others who might need this guidance. By liking, subscribing, and sharing this content, you contribute to a growing community of strength and resilience, a space where individuals uplift and empower one another in the face of these challenges. Together, we can create an environment of support and understanding, breaking the cycle of isolation that narcissistic manipulation often fosters. Thank you for being part of this conversation and for taking a step toward reclaiming your peace and power. Remember that your journey is unique and every step you take matters. Stay vigilant in protecting your mental and spiritual well-being and stay strong in the face of adversity. Your peace, your power, and your freedom are worth every effort. Until next time, may you continue to find the strength to fight for the life and happiness you deserve.